And welcome back, I'm your host Sensei Pong. Recently, Gnoggin, aka Lockstin, another, well, far more notable YouTube channel than this one, made an awesome game theory video about the new Pokemon game Sun and Moon. His conclusion being that they would be the last in a series of this era of Pokemon. Not the last games ever, of course, but the end of a giant story arc that spans since day one, and once this is finished, to be rebooted in a new generation and family of titles. It's an awesome video. I recommend pausing this video and watching that one right now. But, okay, I know his is better, but please watch this. Like and subscribe! Please notice me, Lockstin. Can I call you Lucky Boo? No? Okay, yeah, I know. I totally stole your joke for this one, but I'm kind of a hack, and I revel in it sometimes. I'm sorry. Is what I do! Okay, so, to say I'm a Pokemon fan is an understatement, but to say I do any real Pokemon videos here it's kind of a joke. So, for any of my regulars that come here for interactive fictions, VGTs, Let's Plays, what have you, don't get worried. I'm not changing my YouTube name to Sensei Merkerpong, Sense Buffet, or even Pika Pong. Of course, with a Nuzlocke, Pokemon is a thing here, I guess. So let's just get to it. VGT's in the title, by the way, and yep, it's another spin-off. I'm really trying to differentiate this series from both Gnoggin and game theory, so... Welcome to VGT 401, Video Game Thoughtscapes, Theories, Opinions, and Thoughts. And yes, I totally skipped classes 200 to 300. I made a giant list of different things that start with the letter T, and what class level they are respectively. Okay, I know, I've completely overthought this whole VGT thing, but... if only you can see my personal notes. So, Gnoggin Lockstin had some great ideas to reboot the Pokemon series, along the lines of moving away from the formula of straight turn-based combat, but moving the series forward with more action-based RPGs, similar to the newer installments of Final Fantasy as of 7, where instead of turns, the speed stats of Pokemon affect the actual times when they can attack. Meaning, let's say we have Electrode, who's one of the fastest Pokemon, fought against Torkoal, one of the slowest. Hypothetically, with a system like this, could possibly get 2 or 3 hits before Torkoal has a move. Also, another neato idea Lockstin had was, instead of random encounters in tall grass, a world full of life that you can see and go after. His ideas are all pretty fun, and if you're a Pokemon enthusiast, I recommend seeing that video as well. Because I wouldn't be doing him justice if I tried to go into detail myself. Seriously, pause the video and hit that annotation, but please come back and watch this video. Like and subscribe! So, with that, I'll try not to repeat any more of his wishes if a reboot does occur. Instead, I've got some cool ideas myself on where I think Pokemon should go, or things I just kind of wish for and see in the future. Playing off his action-time turn-based RPG, like FF7, I'm thinking of expanding that. Maybe playing off the ideas found in Mario RPGs, more specifically Super Mario RPG or the classic Paper Mario series. In the anime, we constantly get reminded with every battle that the series on TV is nothing like the game.
Pikachu, use Thunderbolt! Chewmon, block the Thunderbolt with Poop Barrier and counter with Poop Fall.
Like seriously, Poop Barrier and Poop Fall are real Digimon moves that Chewmon can and or has used, along with Ultimate Poop Hell and Random Poop Toss. It's only really gross if you think about it too long. Man, Digimon's weird sometimes. But do you see what I mean? They do this in the anime all the time. It's probably one small reason why some players of the game can't watch the anime to its full enjoyment. In the anime, they've also used the surroundings to its advantage.
Pikachu, use Thunderbolt on the pool! Chewmon, get out of the water and use Poop Trap.
I'm not sure if I ever want to see a Pokemon Digimon crossover, though. Ash caught in a poop trap sounds more appealing to me than what it probably looked like. Ugh. Either way, maybe some sort of timed mechanic for dodging could be implemented. Of course, it can't be as easy as some of the timed mechanics in Paper Mario. Maybe something closer along the lines of Namco Bandai's Tales games. Maybe implement a dexterity stat that inhibits the ability to dodge sometimes. That way the classic Pokemon strategy is still important, cause, well, I can see the system being completely broken if one person gets good at timing the dodges, cause get one guy that's mastered it against somebody that plays casually and, well, shabam. Reflex guy with the timing down will win every time because he's dodging every attack. I don't know, it may be harder to implement dodges than just a straight up timed combo attack, which is a nice little segue connection to the combo attacks and fights, in both singles, doubles, triple, etc. If you can time out a special move or train to learn special combos, I think that'd be really cool. It's similar to the in-game technique used in the spin-off series Pokemon Mystery Dungeon with linked moves, where instead of just doing one move per turn, you allow the player to do consecutive moves at the same time, one after the other, build that onto other Pokemon working together, then you've got some cool strategy that may be implemented. Strategy that could include the doubling up of typings of different attacks. So, for example, take Eradicate, with a move pool including Super Fang, which is a static move that knocks off 50% of the opponent's HP, and, well, Thunder. Sure, Eradicate's special stats are too low to do huge damage alone with Thunder, in comparison to some of his counterparts that can learn it, but if Eradicate were to link the Super Fang before Thunder, in certain circumstances against a very tanky water type, Eradicate may be able to pull off a one-hit KO, or at least bring it down to a near faint. Then add a little bit of depth where some move combos are better or worse with others. Then you've got a possibly fun mechanic to fiddle with. Because doing certain moves with each other was always a neat implement in gameplay that I personally loved. Have one guy do Toxic while the other does Venoshock, or in the case of using Eradicate, Super Fang with another dude using some type advantaged move was always a killer combo. Maybe put somebody asleep, while Hypno does Dream Eater. Cooperation like this, despite it being prevalent in the anime, isn't as common in casual Pokemon play. If these sorts of ideas were introduced as a major mechanic for the strategy, it would only add a layer of depth that younger or more casual Pokemon fans could sink their teeth into and invest in. Alongside these, things I would like to see more in the main Pokemon titles could also, though a lofty wish, could possibly be special attacks that mechanically are fusion moves between two Pokemon. Similar to the anime in the newest season with Pokemon Performers, have one Pokemon set up a move and the other adds to it, or combines it with their own. Example being, let's say you have Charmeleon do Flamethrower, then have somebody like Lucario to pull some Sky Uppercut through it, becoming a stronger version of Fire Punch. Or, just like the anime, have Pikachu use Thunderbolt, then breaks and use Flamethrower at the same time, fusing both attacks into a mega electric fire beam of apocalyptic fear. I don't know, things like that, it'd be fun. Then, one other thing I would love to see in a Pokemon game reboot, though a loftier dream than the last, would be a non-linear story path. Like Lockstin had mentioned, the formula for a Pokemon game has stayed about the same for 20 years now, with new things only being added here and there. The fights are basically the same thing. I know abilities were added in Gen 3, and that adds depth, sure, but Gen 3's been around for almost 14 years. Fight 8 gym leaders in a certain order, fight the Elite Four, then maybe there's an after game of differing size, depending on the generation. What I would like to see would be an almost open world of procedural growth. You fight one gym of your choice, then the next one will be programmed to be a respective level to your ability, ever growing to the player's ability. If you have no badges, the first gym you encounter, whatever it may be, will always have Pokemon set around the levels of 13 to 18-ish. Next one, whichever it may be, set to 20, give or take a few levels, and so on. All trainers you meet will be set to respective levels below the next gym battle, etc. With the idea of a branching story, you may of course have a main storyline, some sort of epic fight against an evil team or whatever, I don't know, stop the world from doom and destruction. But what I would really want to see, though it may never happen, is a branching morality line, similar to Fable. If you choose to join Team Rocket, you join Team Rocket, progressing with your usual adventure of badges, but aid the evil team in whatever end goal they have, to make it all happy and stuff. Perhaps the current boss of that team wants to do something that'll cause everything to burn in a fiery Pokeapocalypse, like Team Magma or Aqua or Plasma had tried. But realize their faults, then take over the organization yourself as the mob boss. Or, if you really want to go down this rabbit's hole, create your own team, either fighting for good or evil. On the flip side, other branching ideas that would meld in well would be other paths outside the straightforward good and evil roles. Of course, with this idea, you can just do the regular role of becoming champion.
I wanna be the very best.
The best there ever was. But with that, branches that allow you to become a Pokemon professor or researcher with plenty of concentration on catching a bunch of Pokemon for your collection, exploring, researching, whatever, and the like. I don't know. Maybe even a larger side branch of Pokemon performing contests to be the best Pokemon performer. Or even bring back some of the photography implements from Pokemon Snap as a side branch, if wild Pokemon are just running around willy-nilly, not invisible in the grass. Maybe even add in a branch to become a gym leader. The possibilities are endless. Either way, that sort of branching would be friggity-fraggity sweet. But those are just some of my ideas and personal wishes for a Pokemon reboot. Of course, I should mention some things that have floated around the Pokemon social rings, like an MMO version of the game. That'd be cool too. But something to take into consideration, since my wife Professor Muka mentioned it, there needs to be a main console release, and despite what you may say about it or think, with online connection and networking ability these days, etc., friend battling would work fine. But that if the Nintendo NX is a hybrid console of a at-home and handheld mobile whatever, this would be a great time to do so. Play Pokemon at home, then battle your friends on the go or whatever. If a reboot does occur, I'm not against it. In fact, it may be exciting to see where Pokemon goes from that point on. It's all a possibility, but at this point, anything's in the air. Either way, hope you enjoyed this little ramble of things I would like to see in a reboot, but if you don't like any of my ideas or think this is all poppycock, leave a comment down below so I can destroy you in a flame war. Like, share, subscribe, whatever the kids are doing these days, I don't know. But as always, Sense of Punk signing out. Like and subscribe.